You ready to do this, Matt?
Yes, sir. Punch it, Chewie.
Welcome, Super Friends, to the Fortress of Nerditude podcast, a safe place to talk about all things in nerd and pop culture. I'm Spencer Stapleton, and my co-pilot is Matt Shaw. We're two nerds that just refuse to grow up. Thank you for joining us. This is episode 153. We release every Thursday morning. You can find us on the website, fortofnerd.com. We have links to iTunes, Google Music, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and everywhere podcasts are available. Stop by and relax a while. If you like what you're hearing, hit that subscribe button and get us automatically each and every week in your ear holes. Matt, be on your best behavior. We got some guests up in the Fortress of Nerditude tonight.
Yeah, we do.
So keep it PG, all right, my friend?
I'll try. PG-13.
13. That sounds fair. So tonight, we're super excited to have back Lindsey and Lisa from the Garbage and Gold podcast. Lisa, Lindsey, welcome back. How are you this evening?
Thank you for having us back. Thank you so much. We are doing well. Thank you very much.
We're great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excited to be back. Woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see how you feel at the end of the podcast.
Okay, fair.
So, the last time both of you were on was episode 122.
Mm-hmm.
It's now been roughly, a 30-ish episodes since then, so a good 7-8 months, roughly.
Yep.
What's been going on in your lives in the last 7-8 months? How are things?
Yeah, things are good. I can't believe that it's already like almost the holiday season, so I'm not super ready for that. But you know what? Here we are. I am ready for fall. Fall is my favorite season, so I'm feeling that hard. Otherwise, just trucking. Just trucking.
You say you're ready for fall. Is it not fall in your neck of the woods
I was
yet?
gonna say, we're almost winter.
But it's like
I don't
spiking.
know what
It just keeps getting we'll have like spikes of warm, and then it gets cold again, and warm, and then cold again. I'm ready for it to stay cold for good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I had to go out and buy a new winter coat for my oldest son, Charlie, who's almost 7 today, because the temperatures are going to be a high of 29 tomorrow.
Yep.
And his old winter coat just doesn't fit him anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think we've skipped over fall and we've gone right to winter.
Straight to winter. Sad times.
Ew.
So Lindsey, what's been going on in your world the last 7-8 months?
Oh my gosh, 7 or 8 months. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. So 7 months, not a whole lot, seriously. Well, actually, no, that's not true. 7 or 8 months. I've done some traveling, not to brag, but I spent a little time in Peru this year, or over the summer. And then I just went to Germany. My friend ran the Berlin Marathon, so I got to go. I did not run, but I got to go cheer on the people who were running, which was...
Did you get to do the little water cup handout thing at a station?
I did, actually. Yeah.
Nice.
Very exciting. My friend had this special... I don't know, runners have this special thing that they want to drink. I don't know. And so we were at kilometer 22 with that, I think. So, yeah. So I got to hand off a little water thing and be like, you're awesome. And then they kept running. So, yeah.
So just think, without you, that runner would not have been able to cross the finish line.
That is correct.
Absolutely.
I am part of a success story, friends.
That's right.
Real.
That's right. See, it's funny because I remembered you were doing a bunch of traveling to Peru over the summer.
Yeah.
Because initially we talked about trying to do something like late-ish July.
That's right.
And the schedules were kind of weird, and then it kind of came and passed, and then we're like, yeah, we're all kind of horrible people. We forgot, and things were timed. And
As long as we can be trashed together, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, I had a really good excuse in that, I was out of the country. I don't know what you guys were doing, but I was legit. I had legit reasons.
We were being
I couldn't
trash,
record
Lindsay.
a podcast.
I think I just said that.
So,
yeah, I was trash. I mean, I was working 18-hour days for 4 weeks straight without a break. I mean, it's not Peru, though.
It is
Peru.
Definitely not Peru. That's true.
Oh, that's too good. So, what else is new? Lindsey, are you out hitting the clubs, hitting the parties on the weekends, going out and
Absolutely.
being an extrovert?
Yes. Yep, that's a thing that's happening right now.
Yep.
Just yep.
I wish, man, that would be very good. I have been doing some socializing, obviously, but I also have life stuff to catch up on. Fall's a really busy season for me with work, so it's a lot of laundry and dishes, which is so lame. And then binge watching TV shows. So I've basically turned into Lisa, and I blame her.
Yeah.
Because this weekend I binged a TV show and did dishes, and Lisa had people at her house. So we've really switched. It's Freaky Friday. We've
what?
switched
I
roles.
know. I had people for the whole weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
It was, they're high school friends that I still talk to from high school. So it's great. So they're
kind of grandfathered into
for
that
sure.
you can still stop
for
by.
sure. Yeah. But they stayed at my house the whole weekend. So we didn't have to go do things. So yeah, it was fine. That was fine.
Nice. Nice. Huh. So hit up all of our listeners, the super friends, and remind them about Garbage and Gold podcast, where they can find you, what's going on. It's one of my absolute favorite podcasts to listen to. I look forward to Tuesday mornings every week.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Thank you. All right, Lindsay, do you want to do a spiel on our podcast about it? About our podcast?
I never do the spiel.
I know. I'm going to see what you have to say about it.
So Garbage Gold is our podcast. We discuss every week. We have a different topic. We each pick a garbage of that topic and a gold of that topic, and we debate it. And then every week, listeners have a chance to weigh in on our opinions and share their own opinions. So you can find us at Twitter and Instagram at Garbage Gold Pod.
Yes.
So what I love about this whole idea of you guys debate something and then you just put it out there for your listeners to vote on and decide which one of they, are you on Team Lisa? Are you on Team Lindsay for each the garbage and the gold? What I find is that I've never had more of a time where I've had moral dilemmas listening to a podcast where I sit there, I'm like, who do I side with? Because I can't get on board with either in this instance because of those reasons, or I'm totally on board with both, and it's like a coin flip, and it's like, okay, so it's so I love it. I just love it, but I do have these moments, and then I hear people say, well, I voted for Lisa because she was very passionate about it, and that cracks me up, because I was like,
don't even.
I was like, Lindsay's going to lose her mind when she hears that. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's a
this
pretty
makes for
sore
a great
spot with
podcast.
Lindsay. It's a pretty sore spot.
I mean, my therapist is really happy about the podcast because
Keeping her in business.
There's a lot of feelings when people are like, I couldn't pick, so I picked Lisa. What? She was just more passionate. So
I love it. I love it.
All good.
Super friends, if you're not listening to the podcast, shame on you. I'm gonna publicly shame you right now. You've been shamed. Go subscribe. They're all over all the podcasting places.
We are.
Hit that subscribe button. You can actually, on some of these podcasting devices, set it up so it auto downloads, so you can wake up and bam, it's ready first thing in the morning. That's what I do.
Yes, indeed.
I listen to you on my way into work every Tuesday morning.
Oh, thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, I have to listen to you twice a week. Monday nights when we record and Thursday mornings when the podcast
lucky.
releases.
You're so
I am the luckiest person ever.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, Matt? What's new?
Well, not a whole lot. We don't go anywhere because the baby's too little, so I end up doing all the errands by myself. Or I take
How's
Emmy
Lando?
with me. Lando's fine. I mean, he just kind of sits there and he poops and then he eats and then he sleeps and that's about it. He doesn't cry, which is amazing. I know I talk about this every time since Lando's been born. He's the opposite of Emmy. It's just
That's awesome.
It's a blessing because she was a psychotic and still is a psychotic human being, and we love her. But good freaking grief, this girl. I feel sorry. This is the good thing that I feel about having this passionate and independent of a daughter is I don't got to worry about some boy trying to pull the wool over her eyes and doing any weird stuff because she's going to have none of that. So I'm okay and confident that she's going to be just fine.
I like how you know that, but you
I
have no clue how Lando's going to be, except he's going to poop and not cry.
That's it. Oh,
Yeah.
If I got a kid that poops and doesn't cry, I think he'll be okay too. That's all you can hope for in the future, when you're 30 years old. Well, I poop and I don't cry. And you're like, okay.
Hey, made
not
it.
a bad
So
life.
just to bring just to bring Lisa and Lindsay in a little bit, how old is Lando, and why did you name him Lando?
Lando is a little over 3 weeks old now.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
He's a youngin'. And he's Lando, Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's his. His name is Landon. Because my wife would not let me just name him Lando.
Just straight up that, yeah.
She was like, oh, no.
Your wife sounds great.
She is. She's very reasonable.
Yes.
She was fine with calling him Lando, just not officially. So my goal is still to make sure he doesn't know his name is Landon until in school they ask for Landon, and he's like, I don't know any freaking Landon, but it's pretty close to my name.
I told you what happened last week, didn't I? When we went to go get shots at the school for the flu.
Yes.
And Charlie sees his name and he's like, Daddy, that's not my name. That's not how we spell Charlie. And I was like, well, that's Charles. That's your full name. He's like, Daddy, Charlie is Charlie.
Right. I've been working on this for years, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know who Charles is. That's not Charlie. That doesn't spell I'm like, settle down, son. Settle down. You also have a middle name and it's Gary, and I know you don't know how to spell that, so just relax. But,
trust the process.
oh, yeah.
So that's kind of how it's been. So this weekend, we love Halloween over here at the Shaw House. We've been decorated for a long time. Emmy, for some reason, Emmy is about 2.5, little over 2.5 now, and she's been set on her Halloween costume. And unlike most kids, she has not changed it once. It has always been Jessie from Toy Story from day one. And so she got the costume a while ago. She wears it every other day, probably. And this weekend, we went to SeaWorld. We have season pass to SeaWorld in San Antonio here, and she went trick-or-treating, and they had a Sesame Street Halloween parade, and she loves the carousel, the horsey ride, she calls it. So we went and did all of that fun stuff, just Daddy and Emmy, and it was a good time. That's literally the only outing I think I had the entire week. And it was awesome.
Good.
It was great. It was great. So it's fun to spend more time with Emmy, just because mommy's always with the baby. So Daddy gets time with the toddler, and now she cries for me and calls for me, and I love/don't love it. So, bit of both.
Yep.
But that was the main attraction. We did a pumpkin carving situation this evening. My parents came over and we kind of did a little something in the backyard, and that was fun.
Did you go like super complicated and like try to be that parent, or did you just go old school triangles?
I had a migraine. I was like, yo, Emmy, don't you love those cheap like plastic pumpkin like trick-or-treating plastic things, little bag. They're not bags, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the little buckets.
Emmy, do you want it to look like that? She's like, yeah, Daddy, yeah, you're so smart, good idea. And I was like, perfect, because that's literally just 3 triangles and a crappy smile. And that's what I did, was 3 triangles and a crappy smile, and she was so happy. She wouldn't touch the inside. She's one of those kids, she's like, I don't want my hands. She like cries anytime her hands get yucky, like yogurt gets on her hand, and it's like, oh my gosh, the world is over. So she ain't having none of that. So Daddy did the entire thing by himself. And it was so great.
Wait,
that's
you
what
didn't
daddies
hand
do.
Sharp knives to your toddler? What?
Well, she's got to learn somehow, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So that was it. That's kind of what's going on.
So it's funny you were talking about Emmy wearing her costume. My boys got to dress up in their costumes on Saturday. We went to the daycare Halloween carnival, and Jackson decided literally like 3 weeks ago he wanted to be Wreck-It Ralph all year long. Like Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph, though. Which I kind of went, okay, but because he always wants to do a family costume thing, and I'm not sold on that idea. But I find that I've been wearing costumes a little bit more the last few years than I have in like the last 20 or so, or maybe even 30. But he says, Ralph, I want to be Ralph, and Mommy can be Vanellope, and Charlie can be Fix-It Felix, and Daddy, you can be King Candy. I was like,
Great.
I'm like, can I just be Sour Bill? I mean, like, you just put a big green dot on me with a little face? I don't know, something. So Jackson then decides to switch. He gets the Luke Skywalker from the X-Wing outfit from Costco. So I get to now walk around in my Jedi costume, which I'm much happier with.
Yes.
And then Charlie went as Fix-It Felix. He's got the little blue shirt and the little tool belt and blue jeans and a little gold hammer and a hat and the little patches that Mom got from Etsy and ironed on. And then we went and did the thing, and it was a lot of fun. And so I guess come Halloween, I get to be a Jedi, Mom gets to be Vanellope, and Charlie and Jackson get to be Luke and Fix-It Felix. So we're going as like a mixed family type of thing.
A dual household situation.
Yeah.
Got you.
So it's all Disney, though. Yeah. Star Wars and Wreck-It Ralph. So.
Well, what isn't, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So we did that this weekend. Also this weekend, I decided that I took Friday night off from streaming. Burrito wanted to go have a date night, so we went and saw a movie called The Current War. And it's with Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's all about kind of Tesla and George Westinghouse, and of course Thomas Edison, and kind of the whole thing between AC and DC current, and she's like, we're gonna go see that AC/DC movie. I'm like, is this like a biopic about Bon Scott? Because I'm totally in for that.
Super stoked. Oh no, yeah, very different.
And she's like Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm like, Benedict Cumberbatch in like a schoolboy uniform with a guitar on stage as Angus. I'm like,
I'm here for that. Let's.
I'd watch that, but I mean, yeah, might be a stretch. And then figured out what it was, and I was like, oh, okay, no, that sounds good. We'll go. That's fine. So anyway, because we did that, I did not stream on Twitch on Friday night. So I had a buddy hit me up and says, "Man, you did that apple pie stream the week before." He's like, "You got to stream some more food stuff this weekend." So I talked to my wife, and I ended up coming with this idea that I streamed my competition rib recipe, and I smoked that up live. But I knew I needed to fill time in between, so I also did cornbread. And then I also made tater tot casserole, which is like a Stapleton family, just kind of trash casserole that we all love. It's comfort food. And I did that, and I was thinking, okay, I could do all this and kind of compress some of the time. No, it was still like a 4.5 hour stream because the ribs had to take the time.
Wow.
And yeah, Burrito hopped on. We had a good time, and we were just chatting with a bunch of people. But I gotta say publicly, I want to apologize to the people in the UK that stayed up to like 2:30, 3 in the morning their time to see the end results of the ribs, and then only got the payoff of watching me eat them. Because they were delicious, and I was like, they're up to like 3 in the morning watching this, and there was like 3 or 4 of them, and like 2 people in Sweden, and they're watching me eat ribs at like 3, 4 in the morning their time, and they kept saying like, I'm so hungry right now, but there's nowhere I can go to get food, and I was like, get on a plane, I guess. I'm like, the house is open, you can come eat food when you get here. So yeah. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. If you're interested, Super Friends, S Stapleton 79 on Twitch. That's where I'm at most of the week, Tuesday through Friday, and occasionally a little food on the weekends.
Yeah.
So did that. Idea. I got a new phone. I got the new Google Pixel 4.
Mine's coming. I got the orange one, so I'm still waiting. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. I got the black one. I pre-ordered mine. I did get the XL. I figured.
Yeah, me too.
I've got I'll give the upgrade a try, get a little more space. And I love it, but a new phone is a new phone, and I couldn't figure out how to get to my voicemail, and I got like a work call, and I missed it because I was on stream, and like one of my employees is in the Virgin Islands, and they couldn't get a hold of me, so the other IT people like disabled his account because they're like, someone's trying to access from the Virgin Islands.
Right.
And so like it took me like half a day over the weekend to figure out how to get to my voicemail. And then I figured out what was going on, and then he starts texting me, and of course it's a new phone, so I was like, new phone, who dis?
Yep, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, this is so-and-so from work, and I can't get access to my email. I'm like, hold on a second, and I fixed him in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But still, it was like half a day until I figured out how to get to the voicemail. Here's a tip, Lisa, just go to the phone and press and hold 1. Now you know.
you.
That's where it's at. Because I'm like, where's the app? Where's the voicemail app?
Right.
It's
right.
not in here.
Yeah.
Where's the thing under the phone that says voicemail?
No.
Nope. It's on the keypad.
Okay. Well, there we go. Thank you.
Just saved you half a day of looking on the internet.
Sounds good.
That's what I'm good for. The last thing, which was ridiculous, and I don't know why, but my wife and I decided to watch the first Hunger Games movie again.
Ooh.
Because it's been years, and we're like, let's see how this kind of holds up, and kind of, a little more woke culture. Do we still think the idea of killing children is a great idea? And then we watched the other 3 that follow it.
Oh.
Over the course of like the next 2 days. So
It must hold up.
or is it one of those things where, you kind of feel like now you've somewhat invested in it and you want to see it through to the end because you don't remember it all. And then you get to the end and you're just reminded how
Awful the last one is.
well, that, and how unhappy you are with the writing based off of a young adult novel that wasn't that great to begin with.
Correct.
There's a little bit of that. So
They just wanted to respect the source material and how bad Mockingjay was.
I just listened to the Elizabeth Banks Armchair Expert episode, and it made me want to watch the movies again. So it's interesting that you said that, because I was like, I don't know if I want to watch them, but I do, kind of. So
this is one of those cases where I'd almost say, like, read the books, they're better.
right, no, absolutely.
But I don't know if I can say that.
Right.
Though.
I want to say that. I cannot say that.
Yeah.
I think you can say read the first book and then
How about this?
watch the movies.
Go to Wikipedia, read the plot summary. That's probably a better use of your time.
Read a different dystopian series.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't go with the Divergent one, though.
No. Also
Because
pass.
that seemed to be like, if you love the Hunger Games, you'll love this. And I was like,
hello, fell for that one.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that was my week. I feel like I started kind of high and then kind of ended low. I don't know what's up with that. But it is the time when we do a little murdering here on the podcast. Matt, is it time we should kill some Bothans?
Yes, let us bathe in their blood.
Let's do it. I always have to let you know, many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Rest in peace, you Bothans.
All right, we are into Rebel Intelligence. Let's see, Lisa, what do you have for us this week?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the first thing I have is I'm actually really excited for this game. And then I saw the article that The Last of Us 2 is delayed to the spring release. So it was going to be released in February, and now they've pushed it back on that. And I'm not 100% sure why. Even reading the article is just they're not given why it's pushing back. I just assume that they're still working on stuff or whatever, and that's fine.
I can help you out there.
Yeah, please do.
I saw a tweet by Neil Druckmann, who's the creative director over at Naughty Dog. He basically said, like, in this like lengthy tweet, that basically, like, we tried to set an aggressive schedule for ourselves to get it out, but as we were getting closer to the end, we realized there was still so much that had to be done, and that there was a few sections that needed more polish in order to really make it feel like a Naughty Dog game. And so they had this like internal, struggle of like, do we just hit our deadline that we literally just released like 2-3 weeks ago, or do we make sure that we put out the best possible content and delay it like 3 months? Because I think it's being pushed from like February to like May.
Right. Yeah, May 29th.
And he said that they as a company just decided that they would rather polish it up and put out quality content and be known that their content is solid and tight and well put together versus, we hit an arbitrary deadline.
Right, exactly. And I think especially with how popular and how well done Last of Us was and is and holds up, I think that it absolutely needs to be a game that's going to knock it out of the park, or it's going to be a huge disappointment to fans. So that is a good choice.
I agree. I'm going to say this for anything, even though like we're in this culture where we don't want to wait for anything. We want that, let's binge this, drop it all on me now. I would rather content creators take a little bit more time and put out a world-class product than like rush it and we only get like a product that's just kind of like, so-so. It's like 85% because inevitably you're going to think, man, a little bit more time and this could have been something truly magical.
Right.
Instead, it was just kind of okay.
Right. Because there's some things that patches can fix, but for something like this where it's a narrative and the game like evolves as you play it, you really can't patch it. It has to be done before it comes out. So
yeah, it has to be perfect day one. That's my opinion on something like this. When the hype is so huge. I mean, Lindsay knows what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely. I've been waiting for this game forever.
Oh gosh.
Forever.
So, yeah, and it looks like there's still lots of really good stuff coming in the first half of 2020, so I don't think people are going to be bummed that Last of Us Part 2 has to wait a little bit longer, too. So, it'll be fine.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out in March. I mean...
Yeah, that's all I need in my
enough
life.
said.
Yeah, Lindsay's not going to see or hear from me for like 3 months, so it'll be fine.
Better get those podcasts pre-recorded.
Yeah,
No kidding.
we'll can about 30 of them, and then I will emerge pale and
I've been
sweaty.
wondering,
Yeah.
you've had a very aggressive recording schedule. I didn't know it was because of video games. You're setting the pace, man.
Yeah, and Cyberpunk 2077's coming, so really gonna need you to just leave me alone for a few months.
How much... Okay, so how much Keanu do we think we're going to get in that game?
Not as much as we want is the answer, because there's never gonna be enough. The limit does not exist for how much Keanu I want in my video games, so...
But I think we're going to get Bill and Ted 3 in the same year as we get Cyberpunk 2077.
I'm okay with that. I'm good with that.
So more Keanu is always a good thing.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Absolutely.
I love it. All right, Last of Us 2 delayed. I think it's a good thing. I know that there's probably people are going to disagree with us, and they're going to be, we want, but just settle down.
Yep.
You'll
Well,
be fine.
I get that, but why would you announce the release date and then like within weeks change it? That seemed like so stupid to me.
So my guess is either twofold. One, they honestly thought they could hit that schedule, and then a few weeks later something happened when they were going through the development. They were like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now that we changed this, like the narrative doesn't work. How do we polish this? We're going to have to do some things, and it changed it. Or two, this is the more pessimistic side of me, is that because of the PlayStation event that was happening at that time, and we know that everything, books, TV, movies, video games, they got to keep that hype pressure up. And so they have to have some sort of news, some sort of trailer, some sort of announcement, almost on these like pre-programmed schedules to keep interest going.
Right.
And so it could have been hey, we need to release something on this. We can get a trailer, we can get a release date, which is going to blow up the internet with hype. And then a month down the road, we can say, hey, here's the reasons we can push it. That's the pessimistic side of me. I think it's the former. I think it's they found some things and they realized, they got to do better.
Yeah.
Right.
But it could be the latter. I hope
And we'll
not.
never know, and that's okay.
Yes.
And that's okay.
I'm
in that
okay with
mystery.
these. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, I just go back to my boy Sonic the Hedgehog movie getting delayed.
Oh God! Just stop! Just stop, man.
Make it perfect for the fans.
Make it perfect.
We've been asking for a Sonic movie for years.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
get it
Oh.
right.
Thank
Ever
you.
since 1994, 15-year-old Spencer's like, when do I get my comeuppance with the Sonic movie?
And now it's nigh. It is nigh.
This is it. This is
I had
it.
to bring that in. It just reminded me of my boy Sonic. And
the rework.
Okay, so I have a non-gamer question. Like,
Yes.
is it a bad thing to just hold off on announcing it till you know it's right? Like, is there a reason you need to give a 4-month notice? Because it feels like, I don't know, like if I had a project that I was working on that there's no like timeline on, I'd be like, I'm going to tell everyone it's done when it's done and just do it that way.
I think from the artistic side of things, I think that's a wonderful, great idea, Lindsay.
Okay.
However, the problem is that these companies, and so it's the studios that make the games, right? Then you got the publisher that's actually going to release the game. It's similar to movies, right? You'll have J.J. Abrams was going to, produce a Star Wars film, but it's actually being done by Lucasfilm, and then it's being released by Disney. Disney wants to get that hype out there. They want to get pre-sale tickets going. They want to, same thing in the video games. They want to get pre-orders. They want to have all that kind of stuff going. And if you just say like, oh, by the way, and it's available today.
Right.
It doesn't give enough time for the marketing departments to really kind of turn the media up and get it going. And so I think it's completely business reasons why we get the hype machine 4 months out on something like this. 5 months, 6 months, 18 months out.
See, I think I would rather be like, hey, it's all done. Here, marketing department, do it that way, than be like, oh, it's going to be done, and then it's not. Because I feel like that's not a great, like, I don't know, you don't want to under deliver. But
I agree.
I'm not a gamer, so...
No,
Yeah.
and I'm not a big gamer, as the Super Friends know. I'm a Nintendo boy. Mm-hmm. And they typically don't, they do more what you say, Lindsay, where it's more of the game is going to be done when it's going to be done. It's going to be done right, and we'll tell you when it's ready.
Yeah.
And Nintendo typically doesn't give you things years in advance. When I tune into like Sony and Xbox and PC games, they're like, in 8 years, Cyberpunk 2077
Yeah.
might be released
Yeah.
by this publisher. And you're like, okay, bro, like calm the freak down.
Yeah, the only thing
it's
Nintendo
like
really does
next
that with
year.
is Zelda. That's like the only thing they
Yes.
do that with, because
Yeah.
it's a franchise like that. But yeah,
But anyway, that's I agree with you. I think that it's kind of silly that seems, but that's the culture now. And if you don't get ahead of it, you're behind. And so it's this Xbox versus Sony. It's yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
All about making that money. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, that's what it is. I mean, they're businesses.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. We get some amazing content in games and movies and books and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But if there's not a company behind it pushing it,
Right.
we don't get it. That's the whole reason why we have commercials on television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the TV show Lost was a great show, and it had everyone talking. There was water cooler, conversations going on a weekly basis. But ABC was willing to put a show like that on TV because they had these 5-minute chunks, like 4 times throughout it, trying to sell, spick and span Ajax and, paper towels and feminine products and male, virility medicine. Like, just,
On ABC?
I missed that one.
it's the Family Channel. You got to have a clean house and you have to procreate, apparently.
I mean, obviously, it's all you need.
I don't know how I put all that together and tied that back to ABC, but sure, whatever.
Anyway, that's like one of our 7 Rebel Intelligence topics today.
Right. All right, Lindsay, what do you have for us?
So announced this week was not only is the delightful Taylor Swift helping to star in the Cats movie, but she also helped write a new song for the Cats movie. So it is a song for one of the characters, and then she also is apparently going to sing it on the soundtrack as well. So she and Andrew Lloyd Webber, maybe you've heard of him, musical people. I don't know if this is the kind of audience that is like, oh yeah, Cats, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber is pretty prolific, though. I feel
right.
like.
We'll have some people that'll know the name.
Okay, good. All right. So a feature came out this week where Taylor and Andrew talked about their collaboration. So the song sounds fine. It sounds very... It sounds very Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Sure.
Which is good because he helped write it and wrote most of it, I'm sure. And some good Taylor lyrics in there. So, yeah. How are we feeling about that? How are we feeling about the Cats movie, first of all?
Not good.
I'm into it, man.
I think if you're into Sonic, you're totally going to be into Cats.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that tracks.
I love it. Humanoid cats. I was like,
After my humanoid hedgehog, let's get that rolling.
Man. No, the Cats movie looks like crap.
Yeah.
It
Sure
looks
does.
awful. My gosh. How did they get those people to do it?
Yeah.
We talked about this when that trailer was
Money.
released on the podcast, and we were both just like, what in...
Yeah.
Why are all of you doing this?
Yeah.
Who okayed this movie?
Right.
Who asked for this?
What void
Well,
are you
I don't
trying
ever
to
wanna
fill in
see-
yourself with this? What are you doing?
I don't ever want to see the musical show. Like, I've had opportunities to see it, and I've been like, that is a waste of my money. I don't want to see that. And so now there's a movie? Like, so I don't feel great about that. And then the song seems fine.
Yeah.
So I'm a former theater kid, and I've been in lots of plays and musicals growing up. and I'm going to tell you a little trend that I've seen for years now. You will get a very popular Broadway musical that'll run for a long time. Then they're like, okay, ticket sales are starting to decline. Ooh. We're going to take this off Broadway. We're going to tour a little bit. And once ticket sales start dropping there, then we pivot and we make a movie musical.
Yep.
And that's how we'll get more money on this property. And then it's pretty much dead. And then maybe 20 or 30 years later, they'll revive it again on Broadway. Because they're like, oh, hey, this has been gone forever.
Nostalgia.
So, yeah. I mean, it's how we got a Les Mis movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally.
It's how we got a Phantom of the Opera type thing. You know, it's the fact that Cats is being made into a movie doesn't surprise me. I mean, Cats was taken off Broadway, maybe like a decade ago.
I was gonna say it's been a minute.
It's been a while. It's
Good.
not a musical I was ever interested in seeing.
Yeah, no.
But they're gonna make a movie out of it, and here's the sad thing: is it's gonna make money.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There was a lot of backlash to that trailer.
I thought at first, it might make a little bit of money. It'll at least probably recoup what it cost to make it.
Sure.
But now they've attached Taylor Swift to it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, she's gold.
She is.
It's going to make money.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, seriously, she has all the star power. Legit. So, and good on her. Like,
Yes.
I feel great about that. She
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Well, think about it too. Like, she's super, super talented. What happens if she writes this song and then this song gets nominated for an Oscar?
Right. She's on her EGOT train.
She's on her EGOT train. That's exactly right.
Does she have an
So-
Emmy?
I don't know. She's got to get all of them though. So she's working on it.
If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
Yeah, that's fair.
And, yep, I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. I will sit in the very back row of a very large stadium to see her show forever.
Yeah.
I will be 85
Still
in the
there.
back row.
Yes,
Yep,
absolutely.
for sure.
Yes.
I will hear about it from you. You can tell me that.
I'll post some pictures so you can see
Yeah.
it.
Oh man.
Because inevitably here, like, I enjoy some of her stuff.
Yeah.
But if I go to a Taylor Swift concert, I'm going to look like one of two people. One, the father of a daughter who came to take his daughter who's too young to go. I don't have daughters, so that's not going to be the first thing. Or two, I'm going to look like a creeper.
Yeah.
And pass.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll be that person and I'll video the whole thing for you. Maybe I'll live stream it. From the
Live
very
stream
back
it for
row.
me.
Please,
Periscope
yes.
on your
Yeah,
phone.
you can
Periscope's
just
still a
watch
thing,
the
right?
whole thing.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I will tell you though something I am excited for. I'm excited for the new Jack Ryan season that's coming to Amazon Prime. So I love me some John Krasinski. The man's a handsome man. He can act in dramatic roles. He can act in comedic roles.
Yep.
He's married to Emily Blunt. Can the man do any wrong?
I know.
No, the answer is no.
Right.
Not at all.
I mean, he pranks people in his neighborhood. Like, he does all these cool things at Christmas. There's all these videos. Anyway, he's amazing. I loved the Tom Clancy novels that all feature the Jack Ryan character. So when I heard the first season was coming, I went, oh, okay, this could be good. Preview comes, drops. It's amazing. First season, really, really good. I wanted more. Season 2 drops November 1st. This podcast is going to drop on the 31st on Halloween. The day after, when you're kind of kicking that sugar high you were riding, time to jump right back into the saddle with a little CIA spy espionage and my boy John Krasinski. Go get that thing. If you don't have Amazon Prime, order it now. Just sign up now. Right, Matt?
Yes, do it. So much do it. I loved season 1. I can't wait for season 2. I didn't watch season 1.
It's more, I know you work for Amazon. That's why I'm,
I don't work
tossing the Amazon.
for Amazon.
Yeah, close enough, man. Close
I
enough.
want them to succeed because then I get to be rich, but I don't work for them.
Tomato.
Just only kind of. But
That's like saying that the company I work for makes roller coasters and theme rides that have gone in some of the larger rides. Do I directly work for Universal or Disney? No, but kind of.
Yep. You hope for their success.
That's exactly right.
I get it.
Lisa, did you watch season 1 of the Jack Ryan TV show?
I did not. No,
Ooh,
I'm really
right.
bad at watching TV lately. It is.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yes. Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Add it to your list.
Yes.
It is so good.
I will.
It's
Add it to your
it's
list.
real good.
Okay, I will.
Plus, the other thing, too, is like, if you've read any of those novels or, for shame, watched, like, the Ben Affleck movie or, which was The Sum of All Fears, or any of, like, the Harrison Ford
Right.
and the one Alec Baldwin, any of those movies, like, the characters in those movies that were actually the characters from the books are in this new show, but it's not, like, tied back to the 80s. It's all current.
Yeah.
But they find ways to, like, make these characters still feel like the characters from the book or the other movies. I thought it was a great adaptation.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, that's cool.
I am slightly disturbed you did not mention the Chris Pine movie, but whatever. I do think John Krasinski is a better
There was
Jack
a
Ryan.
Chris Pine movie?
Yeah,
Jack
wasn't there?
Ryan?
Yeah. Yes.
Was
Yes.
there?
With Keira Knightley.
Oh, Shadow Recruit.
Sure. The
Tom
Chris
Clancy's
Pine
Shadow
movie.
Recruit, I think. Yes. Yeah.
These movies are all the same to me. You could say the Bourne movies, the it's all the same thing to me.
After Ben Affleck, I kind of went, you know what? I think I'm done with the Tom Clancy movies for a little bit because we just cast Ben Affleck as Jack Ryan.
Right.
I don't know if the movie is good, but boy, is Chris Pine beautiful in it.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
So he
All
might
right,
be
I'll go-
more beautiful than John Krasinski, but
I'll go add the Chris Pine movie to my list.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Any of them is
Right.
fine.
If I'm gonna ask Lindsay, or if I'm gonna ask Lisa to go watch the show,
Yeah.
I'll go back and watch the movie
Yeah.
for Lindsay.
I mean, that seems fair. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. All right, what else we got here? Lisa,
Yeah.
you got another one. Kick us off here. What do we got?
Yeah, so not super excited about this one because I'm already over live action remakes and there's another one
Yep.
coming. So, things no one asked for, the Tom and Jerry live action movie is coming next winter. Yay!
Yep.
Said
Yep.
no one. So, and the thing that really confuses me about this is it's kind of like the Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where it's like significantly violent, like
Sure.
there's some violence there. And this is like, I don't understand how they're going to be able to have that in a TV show, like how, or in a children's live adaptation. How are they going to do this where there's like dropping anvils and stuff? Like, I don't get it.
Like, what's the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Right,
It's
right.
like
Right.
Yeah,
you
I
do
mean,
like a
Well, they're going to
live
make one and it's
adaptation-
going to be bad, is what's going to happen.
Well, yeah. So, what's your guys' opinion on the whole like Disney live adaptations of like the animated movies? Like, Lindsay, are you for or against that?
I'm very anti live action remakes. I haven't seen any of them. Not Cinderella, not Beauty and the Beast, not Lion King. I don't want them. I want my movies from my childhood and not. Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Don't give me Emma Watson trying to be Belle. I won't stand for it.
What about you, Lisa?
Hard pass on all of it. So the one that I was the most offended by was Aladdin. I think I was definitely the most
I've had
offended by
Aladdin.
that. So, but yeah, I mean, Lion King I can kind of understand a little bit, and Tom and Jerry I guess is in that wheelhouse where it's animals, but this looks like it's going to be one of those CGI live action hybrids, and it's just like. All I can think about, and it's not going to be as good as this, is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was an amazing hybrid, if I might say so myself.
I love that movie.
Right? Like, it's super
At least-
good. It's super good.
At least 12-year-old Spencer loved it.
Yeah, if they leaned more into that sort of style, but they're not going to do that. It's going to be some weird CGI heavy trash, and no, I'm not super interested.
So I at least understand the concept of we'll take an animated movie that we already own the IP for that has a story and we'll adapt that to a live action or to a photorealistic version of live action, right, with Lion King. But this is like, I can't think of any storyline
No.
ever from Tom and Jerry. It's just literally cat, mouse, they fight.
Yeah. They hide from each other.
So-
They try to hurt each other, and we repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing?
So So I don't know where they're going to come. It's kind of like the whole idea of this Sonic movie, right? It's a
Whoa,
hedgehog
whoa.
that runs around and collects gold rings, and he fights this Dr. Robotnik. But like other than that, like I don't remember anything else about it. So it's kind of like, you got to come up with something, some sort of story, something that's going to want to hook people. And it just, I don't know. It's like saying, like, would you want to see a live action Itchy and Scratchy?
No.
I had to think for a minute, but no.
I'm still thinking.
I mean, I think the Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote is the perfect thing, because that's what I thought of when I saw that too. I was like, it's the same thing, like,
Yeah. And now we've probably just spoken that into existence. So I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, we did get 2 Flintstone movies?
Oof. Yeah.
Don't remind us.
Sure did.
I'm just saying. And we've never got a Jetson movie, right?
No.
No, I don't
Not
think
yet.
so.
I just spoke it. It's going to happen.
Yep.
I cursed
You're
us all.
welcome,
I'm
world.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
These are the movies
I'm
we
sorry.
deserve. Yeah.
Let's move on. Matt, what do you have for us? Give us something redeeming here. Give us something good.
Okay, well, I guess this depends on who you are. Disney Plus, so exciting, coming so soon.
Less than 2 weeks away.
Less than 2 weeks away. It's gonna be awesome. Now, get your Halloween witch hat on, y'all, because Hocus Pocus is coming back with a sequel.
Oh.
I don't remember, 1993, I want to say this movie was made, early mid-90s. So it's been a while. And it's been I feel like it's been rumored for a long time. And I say that probably because it's kind of a cult classic and people want more of it. And for us in our house, this is a yearly event. Typically, it's on Halloween night that we watched it. But we watched it last night just because when you got kids, you don't got time at night to watch movies anymore. So we love Hocus Pocus. It's a great movie. And TV-14, by the way, if you're watching it on TV, it's scary. It's got some profanity. It is kind of dark for a Disney movie. The 90s were good for Disney.
They were.
Some dark stuff.
Slipped
I'm
in
into
there.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas too. Some weird dark stuff.
Yep.
Into that. Anyway, Disney Plus is going to make a sequel. No word on anything other than it's in the works and it's happening and it's got the green light.
Yeah.
Don't know if the original cast is coming back. Thankfully, they're all still alive. And I looked at their pictures and they've aged decently enough to where I feel like they could reprise their roles.
You don't
And
look terrible. We'll let you be in the second one.
no,
You could
they
be a
would-
witch again. It'd be
They
fine.
would make great witches now.
Yeah.
And wanting to be younger again, like it makes even more sense now than it did back in the 90s. I'm hopeful. I think that's the only thing that could redeem this. I'm seeing a disaster if they don't get the original cast back. I'm seeing
Right.
just a really crappy Disney take on one of their classic movies.
Right.
If they can't get the original cast back, it's
I-
going to be a train
I
wreck
wonder
that
if-
I'll watch.
I wonder if they'll do the Full House thing, though, where they'll bring back the original cast just to kind of be a touch point to introduce the new generation, and then the rest of the series or movies they'll spin off will be, hey, it's Hocus Pocus-er.
Yeah.
It's the younger version.
I don't see how they can do that. It's the Sanderson sisters. I mean,
Right.
there's no other witches. It has to be them, in my opinion, for this to be successful. I don't understand
One
how.
of them can marry a wizard and have 3 daughters.
Oh, this is
Come on,
weird.
man. I'm writing
No,
this
please
right
no.
here for them.
Disney, don't listen to
hate
this.
it. I hate
I
it.
know
I think
Bob
you-
Iger listens to our podcast every week, and I'm asking
It's true.
him to just stop listening for the next 30
Bob Iger
minutes.
actually called me this week, Matt. I forgot to tell you.
Oh,
and
no.
specifically asked me to go easy on the Hocus Pocus,
Okay.
hot takes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
I feel like you put more thought into it than Disney did, though, already with your plot twist of the wizard. So, congratulations.
I hope not. Oh gosh, please. I'm hopeful for this. I love Hocus Pocus. I think it could be good if they get the original cast back. If not,
Yeah.
fail.
Yep.
all right,
Agreed.
All right. Well, I'll give you another Rebel Intelligence item here, and I'm gonna stick with Disney Plus because I think we're going to be hearing a lot about Disney Plus for the next little while. Disney Plus, as they're ramping up and they're talking about all the different things it's going to do, Bob Iger, my personal friend, who I said calls me every week, Bobby and I were talking, and he made this announcement after we had a discussion that basically you're going to be able to download content from Disney Plus onto like your tablet or your phone, whatever streaming device you're using, which is kind of a common thing. Netflix started doing it a while back, and now others are doing it as well. Mm-hmm. But he basically said that you'll still be able to keep the downloaded content even after on your device, even after it leaves the platform, as long as you don't get rid of it. And so he said, so this is a major win. And they was like, hey, marketing, ooh, this is awesome. And then literally like 3 days later, someone from the company said, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Some stuff you'll be able to keep downloaded. Some stuff, though, because of licensing issues, once it leaves our platform, it will disappear also from your download library. Mm-hmm. Which totally makes sense to me, because there's no way, with the way that all this content gets licensed, that they're going to allow people just to kind of hold on to stuff indefinitely. Otherwise, what's going to stop everyone from saying, like, hey, this is like, for instance, let's talk about The Office, right? The Office is going to leave Netflix in, I think, 2020 or 2021. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's going to go to NBC's Peacock, which is a horrible name.
Yep.
Ugh.
Great name.
But it's going to go over there. So if Netflix had this deal, they just basically say, listen, if you want to watch The Office on Netflix and you want to access it, download it all now before such and such date. And they don't want people doing that, because otherwise no one's going to switch over to Peacock to go watch The Office, because they'll say, oh, I downloaded it and I'm just going to keep it here forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to get to keep everything forever. Mm-hmm. That's not the society we live in. But they are saying that most of the content that Disney owns, it'll stay on there pretty much forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that makes sense. It's a good business thing, but a little more details if you were planning on downloading all that stuff, that's going to leave.
Right.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, not much to discuss there. We can't really take a hot take on that.
It's news.
It's news. All right, Matt.
Last thing.
I think you have one more, right? Yeah.
Yes. Sticking on Disney Plus. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Oh, yeah.
Coming TBD with our boy Ewan McGregor. Mm-hmm. We got some information. He had a sit-down chat. And one of the first things he said, I'm going to quote him, but I'm going to censor it as it pertains to...
Because the children do listen.
His language here.
Okay.
And he says, it's an effing massive relief to talk about it, because for 4 years, I've been having to lie to people about it. So he has known about this series for 4 effing years. That is a very long time to keep a secret, because it's been like in the rumor mill for a long time that we're going to get an Obi-Wan movie maybe from Lucasfilm.
Right, because I think it was supposed to be a movie first.
Yeah, and maybe it was a movie first, and it's just kind of been unfolding with Disney Plus. And because I doubt that 4 years ago they're like, we're going to have Disney Plus and we're going to do an Obi-Wan series. I just don't think that's true.
I can't remember, Lisa, if you and I had this conversation a while back. We were talking about Star Wars movies, and we were talking about kind of like Solo and Rogue One. And I think we did say that like there'd been that rumored Obi-Wan movie for like a long time. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that after Solo came out and performed less than desirably at the box office, according to Disney's projections.
Right.
I will caveat that. I mean, it did fine according to normal movies.
Right.
I think they decided to hold off and pull back from doing all the crazy, every
character has
year
their own
type of thing. Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I think they just pivoted it to a TV show for Disney Plus. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you down with Ewan McGregor on a weekly basis on Disney Plus?
Well, always, obviously. And I have really liked the trailers for Mandalorian. And, I don't like Boba Fett at all, but I'm really excited about the Mandalorian series. I think it looks amazing. And so if it's in that level of production and quality, like totally, I'm into the Obi-Wan situation. So
the better question is what is it going to take to get Lindsay to watch The Mandalorian?
I can't do it. I can't. I can't do it. I'm the only person in America who hasn't seen any of it. I can't give in now. I think Ewan McGregor, yeah, but do I blame the Obi-Wan stuff for the reason his marriage fell apart? Because apparently he got really good at lying and then decided to have an affair with a co-star. So I blame Star Wars.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yikes! Look at that.
That,
Okay.
that happened.
This is news I'm not aware of. Who
yeah.
did he have an affair with?
I don't know. His much younger co-star from Fargo. He is now in a relationship with.
Oh, okay. Yep.
While he was still married. So apparently he's really good at lying because he's been lying about Star Wars and been lying about being faithful to his wife. Thanks, Ewan.
You're never back on. You're ruining too many things for me. This is making me I'm just sad right now.
Need to
Very
process
sorry.
some feelings.
Well, everybody boycotts. Good
That's right.
grief.
You should boycott every movie where the co-star is hooked up. That you won't ever see a movie.
Then you're
that-
done. Then you're done.
Everybody stop. Everybody stop, because I got more to say about this. There was more news dropped on it. He said more things, good things.
Wait a second. Is this going to be about the Donnie and Marie movie that's coming out? Because apparently I have to boycott that one now too. Bad joke.
That was not great.
Some weird stuff we're getting into. All right. It's going to be 6-hour-long episodes. That's the other portion of this news. But the biggest news is Ewan McGregor is a cheater, and I'm
You're
sad.
welcome.
And I'm sad.
So was his ex-wife. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. She might have been other feelings.
Yeah. Some other ones in addition to that. Mm-hmm.
Payday feelings?
Maybe a little anger.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited. I like Ewan McGregor as an actor, and nobody can take that away from me.
I can't believe this was like such a bombshell for you guys. Like,
I don't
follow their personal
how
lives.
long, I guess the question is how long ago did this happen?
like a couple years ago.
Because I feel like I've become a goldfish after doing this podcast for so long. It's like, oh, hey, what's this? Hey, oh, this is new. I haven't seen this. And then, and then I go back and I will drop in and look through show notes from a year, 2 years ago. I'm like, that happened? I don't remember that. But apparently I talked about it for, a few minutes to an hour. Who knows?
Right. I feel like this is my month, though, because on our Patreon feed, I did break the news to Lisa that Alan Thicke died, and I thought she was going to cry on mic.
Did you not know he was dead either?
No. I'm
but
surprised
I
you
didn't know
didn't know
he
he
was
had
dead.
died.
not know.
I'm really bad at knowing who was alive and who was not alive.
We're talking about Robin Thicke, and she's starts mentioning his dad, and I was like, yeah, he's dead. And she's like, what?
It was the worst.
Listen, there's 2 TV dads from my childhood that were I felt like father figures. One of them now we can't really talk about anymore for lots of really bad reasons.
Yeah.
You know who you are, you know what you did.
Yep.
Multiple times.
Yep.
And then the other one is Alan Thicke, and he's dead.
I know.
So not only is my real father gone, but my TV fathers are either disgraced or passed on as well. So
Right.
Oh, man.
thanks for bringing that up again, Lindsay.
Yeah, I feel like I just ruined podcasts with old news that you all should know.
No, yeah, Alan Thicke passed a few years back.
Yeah, it was
2016.
2013. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's
fine. Mm-hmm.
It's been a bit, yeah.
Yep,
yeah,
sure
yeah.
has. Yep, it's fine.
Well, on that really weird note, let's wrap up Rebel Intelligence and let's get to last week's question of the week. So, last week we had a conversation about Star Wars, not about Ewan McGregor and his philandering ways, but about Star Wars and the new trailer. And we asked the Super Friends 2 questions. A, have you bought your tickets yet to see Rise of Skywalker? And B, did the trailer do its job? Did it hype you up for the new movie? And Lisa and Lindsay, you weren't here, so we're going to chime in and ask you first. So, Lisa,
Yeah.
do you have tickets? And did the trailer do its job? Did it hype you up?
No, I don't have tickets because I live in the middle of nowhere and I'm not worried about it. 2, I will go see it, obviously. I just don't have to worry about pre-ordering my tickets because it doesn't matter. But 2, I am also not watching the trailer, as I did not the last time I was on, because I don't like to see the trailer because I want it to be fresh in my brain. So people are really stoked about it. So I will say it did its job and that it got a lot of buzz out and people seem to really like it. I personally have not seen it and will not see it because I want to go in blind.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And I respect that. Caveat, don't listen to the discussion from last week's episode. You can listen. I'll listen to all the way up until the discussion starts.
Sounds good. And then
we spent half an hour breaking it down shot by shot. So.
She said she wasn't going to see it. She didn't say she wasn't going to hear it.
Right. I can listen to it.
Matt,
it's fine.
good point.
I don't want to see
Touche.
it with my eyes. Yeah.
We do paint quite the stunning visual picture at times with our words.
It's very riveting.
Yeah. And then this thing happened, and it was dark, but I couldn't tell, was it blue or was it black? Yeah. We got into the minutia.
Yes.
But Lindsay, I'm interested to hear your take. Do you have tickets, and did it hype you up?
Well, obviously, as someone who's never watched a minute of Star Wars, any of them, or TV shows or anything, and will not be watching Ewan McGregor because, as we all know,
now we all know,
yeah, he's kind of a trash bag. I did not see the trailer. Shocking. I am not hyped about it. Shocking. And I have not bought tickets. Again, shocking. It is just a shocking little experience
if
here.
Someone were to buy you a ticket and say, hey, we're all doing this thing. We're all going out this weekend and we're all going to go see the new Star Wars movie together. And it's a group activity. Would you be tempted to go just for the social atmosphere?
How dare you prey on my extrovert ways? No, I don't think I would. It's a source of pride and like a party trick.
I feel
that
like
I'm
you would
I've
do
never
the
seen a
dinner
Star Wars
before or whatever.
Yeah.
And then pee
Yeah.
And
then I'll go to another movie down the hallway.
Sure. Yeah.
And then
Which
after.
is also going to be Star Wars because
nowhere going to not be.
There's nothing else that's going to release that week. Yeah.
Well, no, but there's something old and probably foreign that I could find somewhere that I'd be fine with. So.
Some foreign French film in black and white and subtitles that's playing right next to Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, and I will rather see the French movie for sure.
French movies can be, we just got out of seeing the Rise of Skywalker, and now we will recap it. You're like, no, I can't get away from this.
I would probably then leave. Yes, but no, an old French film, here for it. Sorry, Star Wars.
Awesome.
I'm sure you're wonderful. I just can't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's go listen to what the Super Friends have to say here. So let's go over to email. And we'll start with Peter Christensen, which you can always get us on our email, fortofnerd@gmail.com. And Peter says, Dear Nerds. Okay, he's also going to recap a little bit of last week. So he says, anyone who's okay with a white Jesus should be fine with a black Catwoman. But maybe don't use Halle Berry's Catwoman movie to defend that principle.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
He says, listening to you guys try to say Giacchino was like watching the Italian scene in Inglourious Bastards. I know I'm still saying it probably incorrectly, Peter, but that's the best I got. Michael Giacchino. Anyway, he says, I don't think Disney would risk the social media backlash of bringing back Watto in 2019. That's true, Matt.
We'll see.
You did say Watto could
He will
come back.
wield 4 lightsabers. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Haters hate on.
He says, I love the fact that a couple of nerds can dissect a 2-minute trailer for over half an hour and that I listened to it.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, I know. I have nothing to add beyond your exhaustive review. I hope Rose gets redemption because not only did she take unnecessary grief for what was admittedly doing some pretty dumb stuff in the dumbest plotline of the most divisive Star Wars movie, but she did it in the same movie as Rey, a well-written and beloved female character.
Yeah.
Which is very true.
Yeah, that contrast is tough. Yep.
I haven't bought tickets yet. Holiday logistics are too complicated to plan this far in advance. I'm cautiously optimistic because that trailer looks to show more of the Star Wars wonder that Last Jedi, a good movie, don't get me wrong, was lacking. I'm also fine taking 3 years off since it takes 3 to 5 years to make a good movie. I would love 2 to 3 Star Wars universe movies per year that are of the caliber of MCU movies. Cheers, Peter Christensen. I don't think we're gonna get Star Wars movies 2 to 3 a year.
Nope.
I really don't.
I don't think we'll get one a year. Not anymore.
If Kevin Feige could work his magic in the Star Wars universe like he did with the MCU to tie things together, maybe down the road a while. But that's hard because you had, like, with the whole, like, comic stuff, right? You had all these one-off stories, but they all had this big overarching story that they were all eventually working to tie together. You're going to have to try to conjure something up in the Star Wars universe to do that. We're going to be outside of the Skywalker saga now, so it's all fresh ground. So you're going to have to either have some really talented writers that work amazingly together, or it's just going to be these, like, one-offs or, like, you know, trilogy type stories. I don't see that them doing, you know, big 10-year spanning things,
Right.
all culminating to one Star Wars event. I just don't see that happening.
I don't want that. But that's just my opinion on this. I don't want it to be like
Lindsay?
MCU.
I'm so torn, you guys. I don't know how I feel. A lot of emotions about it. So I got to
I
keep
really
thinking.
like that Star Wars is leaning more towards like series thing, like Mandalorian and like the Star Wars Rebels and stuff like that. Like I think that their TV adaptations are kind of where they're. I really like the deep dive into that. Like Star Trek kind of does like their movies, but their series were kind of like what they're most known for. I would like to see Star Wars kind of lean that direction personally, but.
Yep. I gotcha. Let's go over to Twitter at Fort of Nerd. We've got some responses here. Bernabe Butterteeth at Dantes_Belmont says, "No, I haven't."
Hey, Lindsay, just like you.
Succinct. Hey. I love it.
Just no.
Network Newbie at DSpin67 says, "No, I haven't bought tickets yet. As for hype, I don't get hyped for movies much anymore. I usually go in just to be entertained. I come out either it was better than I thought or meh. I just hope it's not 3 hours. I can't do 3-hour movies anymore." So
It's not.
Then the thing that happened is Stu Jones, former co-host here of the Fortress of Nerditude, jumped in and says it's 2 hours and 35 minutes. And I looked at that and said, yeah, that feels about right. That's kind of tracking about where we've been in the last few, or in the ballpark. And it actually is going to be the longest running Star Wars movie by like 3 minutes. Last Jedi was like 3 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
So not too crazy. Not too crazy, I don't think. Bottom Line Wrestling Cast at Bottom Line Cast says, "No, I haven't bought tickets, but the trailer did get me wondering how the hell they're going to explain the return of Emperor Palpatine."
Okay, wait. I have a new theory on this. A real quick thing, exclusive. You heard it here first, Super Friends. This dawned on me as I was watching the trailer again. Okay? If you don't want to listen, Lisa, you don't have to. But this is
I can handle it.
they just spoiled the thing about Palpatine, so this is not going to surprise
No, I
you
had heard that. I had heard that.
in any way. Okay, get this. Okay, that line in the trailer about your coming together will be your undoing, and they do the red herrings and all that stuff. The trailers are meant to do that. My thought is this, okay, that he's actually talking to Rey and Kylo, and their coming together will be their undoing. Kylo flips to the light side, which creates a massive imbalance in the Force, which allows Palpatine to rise back into power to meet their power. Therefore, there's balance again. That is, I don't know how it happened. I don't know if it's like, I don't know how they're going to explain cosmically. They can make up whatever crap they want. We'll be like, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Right.
But like, is he a clone and then he gives a power? I don't freaking know. However, that is my opinion on that line, and why they're coming together, both being on the light side, is going to rise with the darkness because there has to be balance.
Say, the only problem with this, I think that's actually a good idea. The only problem is you keep talking about like the rise of Palpatine and the rise of the dark side and the rise of the evil, and it's called the Rise of Skywalker, which is like synonymous with Jedi and the light.
Yep.
And so and it's, the other movies have been really dark and about the dark side being overpowering, and so the Force has to balance itself. I don't think it's going to be that.
Okay.
I think it's got to be the other way, the other thing.
You're wrong, but we'll see.
That's fine. Totally fine with that. Totally fine. Lindsay's got my back. It's okay.
Obviously.
Yep. That's
Okay.
true.
Moving on. Sorry for that interjection. It was just this massive epiphany I had, and I had to share it with everybody I've talked to this week. So go ahead, please.
All right. Going back to Twitter. Stu Jones at DCow says, yes, he's bought tickets. And 2, despite my best efforts against it, yes, much yes. Very much yes, not yes, much yes. Very much yes. I've definitely felt Star Wars fatigue, and the first 2 trailers didn't do anything to overcome them. But this one, and the idea that this is really a capstone to the rest of the saga, I, period, will, period, be, period, there, period. The last period was for effect.
Yes.
I like that, Stu. You and I, buddy, we need to talk because we need to go hit this up again. We saw The Force Awakens together, and that kind of kicked off the whole thing with you joining the podcast in the first place. I would love to go see this movie with you and have it kind of be a capstone to our little Star Wars trilogy, the last trilogy. So
that's fine.
John at Sir John 11 says, A, yes, B, yes. Apparently he's got tickets, and apparently he's hyped.
Right on.
Love it. All right, well, let's go over to our Instagram. I got to flip over here. The All Bros from the All Bros podcast says, we are both planning on seeing it opening weekend, and the trailer did a great job hyping Rose up. Caleb, on the other hand, not so much. He's sitting around an 8. All right, are we talking like 8 out of 10 scale? Because I would say that's hyped.
I would agree.
I mean...
Maybe it's 8 out of 40, though. I mean, I don't know.
Right, yeah. But if this is 8 out of 100... Yeah.
Oh.
The hype train may not be there quite as much for Caleb. So the last thing, we actually have a voicemail. So let's give that a listen.
What's up, Fortress of Nerditude? This is Paul Calico coming at you. Question of the week: am I hyped for Star Wars Episode 9? And have I purchased my ticket? Well, sadly, no, I have not purchased my tickets. Not really sure how my money situation is going to be, so I'll get them when I can. And am I stoked for this movie? Oh, yes. I am ready for the end of the Skywalker saga. I want to know who's Rey's parents. Is that even on the table still? Or do we just toss that out with the Rian Johnson film? Anyway, Lando, I do want to know how he comes back. He's looking extra suave sitting in the cockpit pilot seat of the Falcon. Hands down, that has to be the Ghost flying in the Armada. I mean, there's a big rumor going around that Ezra Miller is going to be, or what's his last name, Miller? I don't remember. But Ezra's going to be coming back, supposedly. There's a rumor going on about that. I'd really like to know about that. Hopefully, like, maybe Ahsoka will show back up, something like that. They survived Order 66, supposedly. But anyway, there's so much Star Wars going on in my head right now. I am super ready for this movie. It's too bad that it's a month and a half away. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the hype train, and keep on keeping on. Else time, everybody.
All right, Paul Calicote coming in with the voicemail. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. I'm with you, man. There's so much Star Wars going on in my brain right now, too. I know you're hyped for it. Christmas time is a crazy time. Mm-hmm. I mean, this comes out literally like 5 days before Christmas. I get it, not knowing where things are going to be and schedules and whatnot. I think that's a lot of people. I have heard that from a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot that pre-ordered, but also at the same time, things happen. It's Christmas. Mm-hmm. You got to work around parties and baking and family get-togethers and horrible, uncle jokes and whatever.
Star Wars comes before all things. My holidays are around Star Wars.
Well, Matt, why don't you tell the Super Friends then what they can do this week to make Star Wars come before all things and how they can help us out?
Oh boy, they're making me tell them to do a lot of things. I'll just tell them to do something simple. Stay off the celeb news gossips because it will make you sad. Okay? That's what you can do this week. All right, don't look up your favorite actor or actress and find out the things that they've done, or do it if that's your thing. Because sometimes, especially if it's actually, do this. Let me rephrase this. Think of your top 5 actors that you hate, and your top 5 actresses that you hate. Look them up, find their dirt, and then you'll be fine. Because, like, don't you love confirming a suspicion that you've always had about somebody? You're like, I knew that actor, that actress. There was something off. Do that. That's a good thing you can do.
Just don't ruin Tom Hanks for me.
Never, please.
Oh, I've got some things
I don't
on
think
Tom
he's
Hanks I
ruinable.
could tell you.
I don't think so either. But I don't even want to talk about it.
Anyway, that's what y'all can do. And then go ahead and just like coolly slip into your phone, open the podcast app or whatever phone you have, whatever the application is. Subscribe, like Spencer was saying, it'll download automatically. Listen to us on Thursday. And then okay, I have a confession, super friends. I thought that I had gone in and left a review for the podcast that I am on, and I had not.
Matt, how dare you?
I've been telling y'all to do something that I have not done. So I did it like 45 minutes ago. I went in on my phone. I get them every week, but literally all I had to do was click the 5 stars, and that was it. And it was like, thanks for your feedback. So just do that. Like, go to your app and click the stars. Leave us a rating. It helps with the algorithms. So do that, please.
This is like the longest shill for give us a rating and review
Sorry.
I've heard in a while. This is awesome.
I learned a lot of things in the last few minutes, and there's too many things jumping around in my
Still
head.
reeling. Mhm.
So do that. Do those things, and your week will be better, okay?
I love that Lindsay has just shattered your world.
I had no idea.
This is awesome.
I'm so sorry.
Welcome
is
to
not
my life,
awesome.
everybody. Alan Thicke is dead. So am I.
I was gonna say I'm gonna stop talking, but that's
No.
not great podcasting.
Lindsay, you can
podcasting,
seriously, Lindsay, you can come back every single week.
I was actually
is
gonna
awesome.
say, like, this is probably my last episode, so I'm gonna tell you
dump
all
it
the
all.
celebrity news I know.
And did you hear this about Keanu Reeves? No.
Oh, no!
Nope.
And Tom Hanks.
Stop it.
Oh,
Stop it. I'm not even ready to joke about that.
and Hugh Jackman.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so today is Halloween. Not today when we record, but when the podcast drops, this is Halloween. So happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes.
Woo.
I hope you're getting ready to get drunk on them Snickers and those Three Musketeers and get, all that sugar up in your system, because that's going to be happening at our household. Mm-hmm. And since it's Halloween today, or, it will be today, I thought it'd be fun if we could all have a little conversation about some Halloween stuff. And I thought we should talk about our favorite, the best possible candy, and the worst possible candy. And then the best possible costumes we've actually worn, our favorite costumes we've worn, and then our least favorite, the worst possible costumes we've worn. Which could be the same costume, depending on your costume.
True.
So I'm curious, let's talk about candy first, because I think that's probably a safer thing and maybe a less crazy one. So let's start with Lindsay. Lindsay, what is your worst candy?
I mean, all candy's pretty great. But trying to think through trick-or-treating and what I really don't want to see in my bag, and it feels like there's that mix that's like Tootsie Pops and Smarties and just lame-o candy. But I'm going to stick with Tootsie Pops. I don't like them. So they are only 2 or 3 flavors. There's a Tootsie Roll in the middle of it. It has the weird commercials that have scarred me for life from my childhood with the weird owl.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
How
that's the
many
one.
licks does it take to get to the middle of the Tootsie? I don't want to know.
Yeah.
No
one asked that.
Yeah. There's so much better candy out there. So don't give me a Tootsie Pop. I don't want it.
I think Tootsie Pops are invented for small children because my kids love them, but I think they're only a year or 2 away from realizing they're really trash because no matter what happens, the Tootsie Roll in that thing is not fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's bounced around a little bit in your bag, you're going to open up that wrapper and it's like shrapnel. It's like a grenade went off in there.
Yep.
Yeah. And you end up eating the paper off the stick.
Yep.
It doesn't come off the stick.
Every time. Every time.
Yeah. Yep. They
Wow.
are nasty.
Tootsie
Okay.
Pops. That's a fair contender for worst possible candy.
Thank you.
I
Well,
like that.
we'll see. I don't have strong feelings toward Tootsie Pops.
Okay, Matt. Then hit us. What's your worst?
Oh, this is trash candy, complete crap, what I'm about to tell you. And I hope this isn't too controversial, though I know it will be. Look, Tootsie Pops are gold compared to Almond Joy.
Shut up!
I knew it.
Almond Joys
Yes.
are nasty. Yeah.
Almond Joys are the worst, most abominable creation. It is when you look, you open an Almond Joy and you're a kid who's never ever experienced an Almond Joy, and you're like, oh man, you open it up, it's got good packaging. You look inside, like, this is chocolate. This is going to be good. And then you bite it and you're like, and then you learn what dry heaving and vomiting is from that experience. Immediately as it touches the lips and the palate, you go, oh, this is what God invented the gag reflex for, was for me to throw this candy onto the ground. It is poison.
Yeah, I mean, you're not saying anything that's not true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you believe in a higher being that has created this world and humankind.
Yes.
But that he also invented Almond Joys just to prove that he invented a gag reflex.
Yes. Look, the
That, my
Bible
friend, is
says there's opposition in all things. Look, all right? So there's evil and there's good. You got to have both, man.
Almond Joy was the subtext of that.
Almond Joy, there's protein in that almond, which is good for you. And then the coconut, it's like a tropical surprise covered in chocolate. Who doesn't like tropical things, protein, and chocolate? It's the dream.
No.
I'm with Lindsay here. Hashtag Team Almond Joy.
No, come on.
No, Almond Joy tastes like someone already chewed up a candy, stuffed it in a candy, and then put an almond on it, is what it tastes like.
It's exactly true.
Yeah, it's like someone baby birded a candy into my mouth.
So perfect. Thank
The
you.
consistency is so gross.
Oh, it's bad.
I hate it.
So I'm assuming then you don't like mounds.
No!
It's the same effing thing.
I would say
Without the
Almond Joy is
protein.
worse because it tries to add a crunch on there, and it's
Yeah.
bad. It's all bad. All of it's bad.
It's really bad.
Lindsay, are you Team Mounds as well?
Give me candy. Like, I'm good with it. I'll eat mounds. I'll eat it all. It's all good.
Oh boy.
All right, Lisa, what is your worst candy?
Yeah, my garbage candy, and I don't even know what it's called, but you all know what this is. It's the mix that you get, and it's always the last candy in your bucket. It's like those off-brand, like, I don't know if they're taffy, I don't know if they're whatever they are, but they're mushy, and they're like wrapped in that wax paper, and they're like orange or they're black or whatever. They're like that mystery candy that no one wants, and they're like that come in the big mix. So
Those aren't taffy. Those are like peanut butter.
Well, whatever.
Aren't they?
I don't know, but they're gross. But they don't even have like a name. But everybody has them. I can promise you, I will see them today when this podcast comes out. I will see those nasty candies that I don't know. They're like in grandma's candy dish, and then they end up in your Halloween bucket. And I don't want them, and they're gross. So no.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Those are disgusting.
Yep.
And they kind of taste like the paper.
Yeah.
Like, even if you get all the paper off, it still tastes like paper.
Yeah.
Right. Anybody that's not proud enough to put their brand on it, it's not. You should be scared of it.
Be very wary of that.
You're like, well, this is probably not worth my time. Even as a child, you recognize danger as it approaches, and you say, this feels like it needs to go somewhere other than my mouth.
Yep.
And then you put it in the trash, and mom says, good choice, son.
Yes.
So, Lisa, Almond Joy or that? Which one are you eating?
That.
Nuh-uh.
Wow.
I think Almond Joy is more garbage to me.
Yes,
than the mystery wax taffy.
What?
Yep.
Lisa.
I'm so proud. I'm so happy. I knew this was going to be a hot
Almond Joys
take.
are gross.
They're
I
so
hate
bad.
Almond Joy. I don't really like coconut already.
No,
all of it's bad.
We are a podcast divided.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I would say I'm
All right.
sorry, but I'm not. So
That's great.
So my trash candy, I think, has got everyone beat here because it literally, it's like someone decided, how can we get the taste of vomit wrapped into a little wax paper, and then we can give it out to kids on Halloween. I'm talking about Bit-O Honey.
Oh.
Those things are disgusting.
Yeah, bitter honeys are good.
No.
What is wrong
no.
with you? Like we are.
No.
This is about to end our podcast, Lisa. Bit-O-Honeys is good.
That's okay. Me and Lisa will start our own. We don't care about you two anymore.
Oh, seriously, Bit-O-Honey tastes like vomit from like a cat. It is disgusting.
Really?
It tastes like honey.
It's not that bad.
No, it does not. It looks nasty. It tastes nasty.
It looks
the look
nasty.
Is gross. The look is gross.
I agree.
Yeah.
I haven't touched those things since I was probably like 8 because I nearly vomited. I'm like, why am I putting vomit candy in my mouth? This is just going to induce me to vomit.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Wow.
I am.
Bit-O-Honey.
I will never touch that again. Bit-O-Honey.
Is that even it? Is that even a trick-or-treating kind of candy?
Yeah.
It is.
It comes in those mixes, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's one of those trash candies where they're like, you know what? We got the good stuff.
Yep.
But we don't want to pay to get all good stuff, so we got to put in some trash candy. Let's get that orange and black no-name candy.
Yeah.
Let's toss some Bit-O-Honeys in here, and then for a good measure, like a used 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
You know what else you see is you see Reese's, Twix, Snickers, and Almond Joy doing the same things.
It's a shame.
They do the same thing because no one wants Almond Joy straight up. They got to throw it in with the good
I've
stuff.
never seen a full bag of Almond Joy.
No, who
I don't
would
think
want
they
that?
sell
No
them.
one's asked for that.
No.
Except, like, lots of people?
No.
I can't think of anyone.
No one wants that.
You would not. Would you really snack on a full bag of Almond Joy?
I feel like I have.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
feel like I have too.
No, what? No, they don't exist.
Yes.
No.
They do exist.
No. If that exists, my faith in God is completely gone. What I once had as faith is now doubt.
Could you imagine straight up walking into someone eating out of a bag of Almond Joys?
Oh my! I would hate them forever, even if it was my own
I would
mother.
feel like they were a robot or from some sort of alternate dimension. Like,
Yes.
this can't be real. Like, you're a
Yes.
person, you're a robot trying to be a person, and you're not doing it right.
Yes.
You know, Matt, the
What is
next
wrong
family
with you,
gathering
Lisa?
we have, I'm going to do just that,
Oh
just
my
to see if you will follow through on this.
I'm gonna cater our next business meeting, Lisa. All Almond Joy.
So bad. I love we're still talking about how bad Almond Joy is. Man. Okay.
All right, let's move on to the amazing candies. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the good stuff, like the stuff that when
boy.
you were a kid or when you pilfer through your children, niece, nephews, or coworkers' kids, candy buckets, like those are the things you're looking for, like you're actively searching for. Lindsay, what is the candy you're going to like go out of your way to try to find in the candy bucket?
So I have a lot of choices for this, but I'm going to stick with a Twix.
Ooh,
And so one
solid.
of the best things about a Twix is if you don't feel like eating it the traditional way, you can bite it sideways. So you eat the cookie part first and then you eat the caramel part. And so it's like two
the layers.
candies in one.
I have never done this.
Me either.
Do it. It will change your life.
I have them.
Lindsay, do you also take like the nutty bars and do that too, so you can get like
Yes.
the layer and then get the peanut butter layer and then the
Yep.
team freaking
What is
Lindsay
wrong
on
with
the
you
candy?
guys?
I am down with Lindsay on this. Yes.
Because the nutty bar, then it's like several bars. Like you
Yeah.
just bite into it, it's done. But if you like peel the things apart, then it's
It's like an
lots more
onion,
to eat.
but delicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not eating it as they intended you to eat it. You're being blasphemous.
I
with
believe the
candy.
Twix people
Yes.
did intend you to eat them separately if you'd like to.
If I pay for the
They
candy,
Twix out did not want that.
I darn well can eat it however way I choose.
Lisa, if Twix didn't intend you to eat it that way, they would wrap all of the cookie in caramel because
They
that's
would wrap
the
all of
technology
the
now.
cookie in chocolate, so it is one piece, and you eat it the way they intended.
No, you're wrong.
I'm good with the Twix. For the record, I think
Twix is
I think you're
delicious.
crazy
I've
the way
never-
you're
I've
choosing to eat it.
Yes,
However-
I've never even
Like
considered
that every time. I just have several options with the Twix.
That's fair. That's fair. I love
Left
Twix.
side, right side. If they
Yeah.
like, if it's like a regular sized Twix candy bar,
Right.
perfect.
Wait till the next one's like right side, left side, or eat it from the underside first.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel vindicated, and I'm gonna praise you for that. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
yes.
sure it's coming. Call me Twix.
All right, Matt, what is your good candy? What's the thing you're looking for?
Okay, it's been this way. Okay. As a kid, I'm thinking of this not necessarily as my adult self now, though it hasn't changed too much, because there's been introduction of candies that are really, really good that didn't exist when I was younger. But I'm just going to stick with this list. And my number one candy of all time, always has been, always will be, Snickers. It is like...
Classic.
It is... It's like a perfect bar to me. It's got all the flavor. It's got the crunch. It's got the mush. And it's got the nougat. And it's got the caramel. And... it is so, it's just a perfect balance of all of those things. And the commercial doesn't lie. Hungry, grab a Snickers. You eat a full Snickers bar, you will not be hungry for 6 hours. Like, in a pinch, if you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to catch this flight, I don't have time for any of this. I'm already eating like crap because I'm traveling. I'm just going to eat this Snickers bar, and you will make it, no problem. It is delicious and nutritious.
Unfortunately, though, you can't eat the layers separately.
Okay,
so...
that's true. If you are insane and you choose to eat your candy...
I'm just saying.
You
lots
can't.
Of options.
You're right. You're right. There's one option with the Snickers, and it is the way it was intended to be eaten, which is you just eat it like a person would eat food presented to them.
I would also like to present the option like they did on Seinfeld, where George puts it in the freezer and then he cuts it up into bite-sized pieces and eats it with a fork and knife. You could do that also with the Snickers bar.
Or you could
Fancy
cut it
Snickers.
up and put it in a salad with pieces of apple, and then it's
Cool
healthy.
Whip.
And Cool Whip. And pudding, and it's healthy then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Delicious.
Snickers. So Twix and Snickers, two solid classic entries. Lisa, what do you got?
I'm going to round out the classic entries and say my go-to is Reese's.
Yes.
So, like, specifically a Reese's pumpkin, because I feel like, or like, you know, they have Reese's eggs, Reese's Christmas trees, whatever. I like those better because the peanut butter to chocolate ratio is on
You
point.
are...
So.
I've never met a kindred spirit like I have tonight. I mean, this is special.
I'll send our BFF charm in the mail tomorrow
This
morning.
is amazing. I am exactly the same way with the ratio.
The ratio, yeah.
It is, and you have to get the larger ones because they have like the small ones, and those are good. Yeah. Any form of Reese's is good, and I agree with that. But the ratio in those larger ones is perfect.
Yeah, because even a big cup is pretty good, but the chocolate layer is still a little too thick.
Too thick.
Yeah.
Yep. Too thick. Yep.
See, I disagree. I don't like the ratio of more peanut butter to chocolate.
Okay. Well, you're wrong.
I like the Reese's mini ones, like the ones that are just like a single bite.
Why?
It's like
that
half
come in
peanut
like
butter.
the package.
Yeah, and then you got like unwrap them, so they look like the cup, but they're like the little tiny, like the mini version of the cup.
It's too much work.
Because it's literally half chocolate, half peanut butter, 50-50. I think that is the perfect ratio.
No.
I don't like it when it's like too peanut buttery. It's like, man, slap that on some bread and make a sandwich. Like, it's too much peanut butter.
No.
Just saying.
Okay.
That's just me.
Well,
Come on, Lindsay. Back me up here.
I do prefer more chocolate, yes. But I like to bite
Thank
off the
you.
peanut butter part and then eat the chocolate.
oh my gosh, I can't believe what's happening.
Guys, I think I'm a lunatic. Like, I think I just discovered it right now. Like, I am a psychopath.
Put it in your mouth like you're supposed to. Just eat
No.
it.
What is wrong with me?
This is great.
No. Worried about you.
I'm worried about me too.
Oh my gosh.
Self-help. Lindsay's just discovering something about herself.
I seriously, like, now I have to question my whole life.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we're the
man.
psychopaths and you're the sane one.
I don't think that's how that works.
Maybe that should be the question of the week.
That's how most psychopaths do think. Yes, Matt, that's true.
Hey, I'm just saying. Could happen.
I'm the sane one, and the whole society is
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haven't
that's
you
how I
seen
feel.
that episode of Community when they take the test and
Yes.
Britta runs it through wrong and she thinks there's one psychopath, but really they're all psychopaths and Abed is the only normal one.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying this situation could be.
It could be.
Yeah. I
We're
could be
crazy
honest.
and Lindsay's the only normal one. I don't know.
love that reality.
Yep.
I think Lindsay's been saying that for a long time.
Agreed.
Gosh.
I say it every day.
Oh man.
All right, so my best candy.
Yeah.
This is also from like thinking as when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And for me, it was always the Skittles. And my reasoning is that like if you got like one of those like Snickers minis, like they're delicious, but it's one bite and then
Right.
it's over.
Yeah.
With the Skittles, you open up that like little fun size bag and you got like 15 of those things. So
Yeah.
it's just, you could constantly keep popping a Skittle and boom, 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 boom. And then you're done with that. And then like, oh, here's another bag. Like 4 of those little things equals like 3 normal bags. It's crazy. Like the bang for your buck on the candy to, packaging ratio. So I was down with Skittles as a kid. It was always one of the things I looked forward to. Plus, it was the only time of year I ever got like the tropical flavors
Yeah.
or the ones that came in because like there's
Purple
tropical,
packaging.
it's like in the greenish, bluish one. And then there's the purple packaging, and I don't remember which ones those were, but they're different than the normal. All the rest of the year, as a kid, it was just the red package. It was just the normal flavors. So Skittles, I was down with the Skittles. Now, my question is, how does Lindsay eat Skittles? How do you do that differently?
Okay, this isn't fun. I sort them by color, and then I eat my least favorite to favorite.
No, I'm
that
cool with
normal?
that. That's totally normal.
See, now you have me doubting my eating habits.
No, it's like M&Ms. Like I used to color code the M&Ms, and I'd always save the green for last.
You don't just
yeah.
you don't just put them in your mouth. You're still
Yeah,
not.
this is still
don't you
weird.
remember, like as a kid, they used to have this game with M&Ms. Or like it's the baseball game, and like for every brown one, it's a single, and every orange one, it's a triple, and then the greens are a home run.
Who did you play this with? Who played this game
It was
with you?
like a marketing thing that they had for a while.
I
I
don't think this is
swear.
real.
Either
Okay,
that
I
or
had-
I'm the crazy one.
I had M&Ms and Skittles today. Not to brag, but I'm pre-gaming. And I'm a grown adult, and I still sorted by color and ate from favorite or least
Wow.
favorite color to favorite color. So
Do you
today
eat one at a time?
I ended.
You don't
Yeah.
ever mix you don't ever do like
No.
a red and a yellow
Or
together.
I'll do no. Why am I telling you guys this?
Because it's fascinating.
So I'll eat like one at a time, or I'll eat like a pair at a time, but they either have to be the same color or like the next color down if I'm out. What? Seriously, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this.
I feel like this is something I would do, but I don't.
I know. No, this.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
I just straight up, I pour them into my hand and I eat like 3 at a time. Get a little smoothie going in there.
Oh, why would you do that?
I
So you
do the
get a
same
flavor.
thing.
Yeah,
I don't
you get
even
a
look
flavor
at
mix.
it.
Yeah, I don't care what they are.
I don't look at
Get a
it. But I
flavor
also
mix in
don't
there.
I don't eat Skittles. If you present me with any candy that's not chocolate, and then there's a chocolate candy that's like only okay, like a Milky Way, which I think we all would agree is pretty good. It's not like the
It's
best,
fine.
but
Yeah,
it's pretty
it's fine.
good.
Yeah.
I would take
Passable.
Milky Way over any gummy, chewy, tropical candy that you present me with. I'll always be team chocolate. So Skittles for me, it was like, how can I trade this to gain anything other than a Three Musketeers, which I think is a trash candy. It's like I'm eating a cloud covered in chocolate, which I
Yeah.
don't care for.
So I totally, though, I would separate M&Ms and Skittles out. What I would mix and match, though, was Starburst. Because when you mix the cherry Starburst with the lemon Starburst, it was like almost like one of those like cherry limeade kind of things you get at Sonic. And so like that, I was like, ooh, this is kind of like a tropical drink. I would do that. But that was the only thing. Like otherwise, like no, Skittles, like they stay together.
Wow.
Skittles got to stick with their own kind. The reds do not mix with the greens. No way. They got beef. There's some serious turf wars over in Skittle Land.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is interesting.
I don't
Wow.
know how you guys sleep at night.
For you guys, my life is over, and I just found out I'm a weirdo. I didn't know.
Well, let's get to a safer topic then for you here, Lindsay.
I don't think it's safer. I feel very unsafe. I feel very unsafe.
Let's talk about Halloween costumes. This I think is going to be fun. So I want to hear what is your worst Halloween costume that you've ever worn. And is it something you chose or is it something parents chose for you? Because I think that could speak leagues to some of these costumes. So, Lindsay, what's your worst costume you've ever worn?
So growing up in the upper Midwest, as I did, I don't remember a lot of costumes because I spent many a Halloween trick-or-treating in a snowsuit.
Yep.
So I'm going to say my worst costume is my snowsuit because I wore it for years. I was dressed up like a cold child. So that is the worst costume of my life.
Yep,
Okay.
that is fair. That is legit. I grew up outside Chicago. I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure my mom chose that because otherwise I'd freeze to death. So,
Right.
yeah. Lots and lots of snowsuits.
We're actually planning on how to winterize our boys' costumes right now because temperatures are going to be extremely cold on Halloween. And my youngest, Jackson, I said, we may have to wear our coats. And he says, no, I would rather freeze and wear my costume. I was like, well, you may be doing that anyway, so
Right.
Oh, man.
just be prepared. Okay, so snowsuit.
Yes.
And that's not an ironic, like she's trying to be like a ski bum. It's just,
No,
you know,
it was
you're trying
too
not to
cold
die.
to wear my cool costume, whatever that was.
I got you. I got you. All right, Matt, what about you?
Okay, this one was tough because I don't remember what I wore. Honestly, I don't remember ever hating anything that my mom put me in or anything that I chose to wear. So this one was tough. But I did not grow up where it was cold, so this was not an issue at all. California for a couple of years, then Texas for pretty much the rest of my life. So I got to choose whatever I wanted. However, every time I come across a certain picture from my childhood, I get a little bit embarrassed. And I don't know what it was with the late 80s, early 90s and sailor uniforms, but my mom, man, whether it was Sunday or Halloween, apparently, sailor uniforms were like the middle class shiz.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
she said, this little boy is going to look so cute and get all the candies dressed as a freaking sailor.
Yeah.
Cute little white collar with the anchors on it. And it's like, oh my goodness, man. So that one's always kind of like, ugh, I do not like this costume. And that was probably my worst. I mean, I've done some pretty bad ones, some things I look back on now and say that was probably culturally inappropriate, but there was a time and a place where this was okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not now.
However, now
And you're not trying to be the Prime Minister of Canada, so
Yeah.
there are things
exactly.
you can just
Oh,
get away
good gosh.
with.
Thankfully, not that extreme, people. However, yes, things. Anyway, that was the.
You were just ahead of the Scoops Ahoy trend that would come with Stranger Things season 3.
Oh yeah, big time. Outfit was worse than that, but anyway, the short shorts were definitely involved.
Yes.
And I'm assuming this wasn't the 80s, so the fact you're wearing short shorts says a lot.
You know, the 90s and the early 90s, they were weird too.
Yep.
I look at some of the jackets, it was like I was living in Jamaica. Bright yellow and green and black. I'm like, what is going on here?
Anything with the starter logo on
I was going
it.
to say the starter jackets certainly had a lot
Yep.
of that business.
Reeboks on my
Yep.
feet. That was good times, man.
Cool.
All right. What about you, Lisa? What's the worst you wore?
Yeah, well, I also don't really remember any of my costumes growing up. I just really don't remember a lot of them. So the only one I really remember, or the only things I really remember, I guess, is that they just were not particularly creative. So I'm sure I was a ghost for 2 years. And then I was an angel, which would have been the same costume, but with a halo. So yeah, just not a lot of creativity happening in my life for a long time. My gold, however, gets creative, or the good one gets creative. But yeah, I don't really have any that I was like, oh, okay. Like it was just really run of the mill, lame costumes that I can remember. It wasn't anything exciting. Not like today where you can be more elaborate. So yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to preface my horrible costume by saying that I understand why my mom did this. Money probably was really tight, and she was being inventive, and she figured out a way to make fabric stretch a long way. But she made myself, my brother, and one of my sisters, my baby sister hadn't been born yet, we were all crayons for Christmas. So she took a big felt thing and made a big tube, cut out little armholes, and then made like a felt cone. And then cut out a little bit of felt to go around it to make like the black stripes, and then wrote crayon down it. and I was a blue crayon, And I think my brother was a red crayon and my youngest sister was like a green crayon. And so we all were crayons that year. And I remember not wanting to be a crayon.
Right.
I remember wanting to be like Superman again.
Right.
I wanted it to be I wanted to be anything else. I'm like, make me a sheriff, make me a clown, make me some. And she's like, no, we don't have money. We're all going to be crayons. And so like we were a family of crayons walking around, just straight pencil, little cone. It just.
Oh man, that's.
I look at those
rough.
pictures now and I'm just like, no.
But creative points to your mom.
Yeah,
That's
Seriously
Seriously.
though, like yes. Looking back, like I get what she did and I get why she did it. And now that I'm a parent, it's like, no. You're gonna pick out whatever Costco has for $15, and you're just gonna, zip it up in the back, and we're good. Let's go.
This is it. Yep.
Yeah. So I totally get it, but I hated it. I was like, I don't want to be a crayon. Who wants to be a crayon for Halloween? This is like super lame.
Yep.
And you see all your friends out there trick or treating, and they're in
I know.
cool costumes.
They're like Frankenstein and Dracula, and they're like, "Hey, you're a crayon." I'm like, I'm gonna get beat up. I'm like, they're gonna use me, and they're gonna just, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. So yeah, a crayon.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, props to mom. Props to mom.
Always props to mom. God bless moms. Okay, let's just get that out there. We're trying not to offend you, but come on.
But you made us crayons and ghosts and angels and little sailor boys and ski bums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ski bum.
Accidental ski bums.
Yes.
Ironic ski bums.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's flip over then to the good one.
Okay.
Let's go with Lindsay. Lindsay, what is the best costume you've ever worn?
I don't know if it's the best. It's the only one I remember, so I guess it's the best. I went, I think, several years as a rock star. And so my interpretation of a rock star was a denim jacket, which is like, I don't wear the same jacket now, but a denim jacket is definitely part of the wardrobe.
Yes, it is.
And then we had a foil. It was like made of like streamers.
Oh, yeah.
Metallic wig, multicolored, and it had like bangs.
Yeah, it did.
It was like a bob, and it was so cool.
Obviously.
And then even if I had to wear my snowsuit, I still had this super cool
You had the wig.
hair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So one as a rock star, obviously.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good call. And it's not like a super hard thing to put together, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, that's fun.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, Matt, what's your best?
So, mine's difficult because, like I said, I didn't remember much when I was younger. And at the age of 8, I had a horrifying experience with Halloween. And I remember just saying boycotting Halloween from like age 8 to college. And I'm still, quick aside.
Wait, how can you boycott free candy?
Listen, and you will know. I'm outside at like 8 or 10. Let's say 8, okay? 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. Formidable years as a young man. And I'm out there giving candy. And across the street, there's this horrifying adult staring at me with, you remember, this is when Scream came out. And they had the horrifying like white Scream mask. And I had never seen anything like this before. I didn't watch Scream. I just knew what it was. Obviously, I was a kid. And they'd come out with the technology that you could squeeze that thing and the blood would come down. Do y'all? He stared at me as he walked all the way down the street, came across to our side, and continued to do the blood thing, looking right at me on purpose. I don't know who this person is, but they did not know the effect that would have on my life.
Oh, I think they knew.
Psychologically, this boy was screwed up. I remember going to bed that night, crying and having a nightmare. And from then on, I never dressed up. I never did anything. I handed out candy with my mom, and everybody else went out trick-or-treating, and I did not. So that's why this is going to be tough. So let's skip ahead to college to some cool, creative costumes. I was probably a sophomore in college. And college is cool for Halloween. Like, you go for Halloween, and you go to all these parties, and it's really fun. And there was a year that I dressed up as a hipster. And it was a legit hipster like outfit. I mean, really cool. Like I borrowed stuff from all sorts of different people to make it work. You know, the plaid shirt, and I had the beanie, and I like spray painted my hair black, and I bought like glasses from, I don't know, Hot Topic, I think, because they didn't have lenses in them, and then I returned them after Halloween. Don't tell them. And then I had like a scarf that I borrowed from one of my girlfriends, and I was wearing like another girlfriend's jeans, and it was awesome. I had like a messenger bag, and like I was holding like a Starbucks coffee mug. It was awesome. Oh, and a nose piercing too. It was cool. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like kind of the hit of like all the parties. So it was really good and really fun. So that's like, I'm still pretty proud of that one. I look at that picture and I go, you did a freaking good job, dude.
Awesome.
Anyway, there you go.
Nice. A hipster. So what year was this approximately?
Oh man, when were the hipsters hip? I don't know. 2000 I don't know. 10?
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, that tracks. That's probably right around that time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, not for me for college, but sure, but like the hipster time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Back in the 18 aughts. Yeah, anyway. Speaking of not old, Lisa.
Yeah.
What is your best Halloween costume?
So I don't know if this is my best one, but it's my most formidable one in my brain. And it's my friend Whitney and I were best friends in middle school and high school. And I was really boring with my costumes, and I only ever did like store-bought stuff, whatever. And her mom was going to make us costumes, and I was like, great. And I want to say that I was younger than I was, but the truth is I was at least in 6th grade. I was maybe in 9th grade. I was too old regardless of any range of what is going to be discussed, but we were Hershey Kisses. So it was like a Hershey Kiss, but then there was also like a hat that we wore. So like our face was like this, and then like the little Hershey Kiss paper was coming out of the top, and we were that together at an age that was way too old to be doing such things.
Wow.
But our mom made our costumes, and it was really exciting, so we did it. Yeah.
I love that.
And
that is awesome.
That's the best one. We're talking best, right? Are we still on best? I forgot. I wasn't best. Okay, yeah. Best. That's so good.
Yeah. It's
that does
pretty
sound
great.
fun though.
It was fun.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I would say it was not a good life choice, but I made it. So there we go.
All right, I have 2 honorable mentions before I get to mine. The first was college, and college, man, like you wanted to be creative, and I took these like acid wash jeans that I had, and I pegged them, and I put on this sport jacket that I rolled the sleeves, kind of pushed it up under my elbows, wore a skinny tie, and at the time my hairline was receding and thin up top. I mean, I actually had hair then, and I literally went as Bruce Willis from Moonlighting.
Ooh.
And no one understood the reference.
Right.
And I was like,
yeah.
but like, I'm like, look at a picture of Bruce Willis then, look at a picture of Bruce Willis, or look at a picture of me then. I was like, it's like shot for shot. No one. Mm-hmm. But I did enjoy the fact that I got really creative that year. The other honorable mention is I went as a redneck Ghostbuster one year, where I had this like brown Ghostbuster shirt that had the big logo, and I cut off the sleeves, and I wore a mullet wig, and I got some of those Billy Bob teeth. And then I carried around a vacuum hose with me. And I was a redneck Ghostbuster.
Wow.
That was a big hit at some parties. This was after I had been divorced from my first wife and before I'd met my wife now. And a lot of, like, if I look back, there's a lot of pictures with me and a lot of ladies. And I'm going to say it's not because I was good looking. It's because of the irony and because the way I like committed to the bit.
Yes.
I committed like nobody's business. Like you would have thought that that's just who I was and that's just how I lived.
Awesome.
So plus the Billy Bob teeth really help you get into the role.
It does.
With that accent, it's really easy to do. But my all-time favorite that I've worn, I gotta go back to the years 1985. Michael Jackson was still at the height of his popularity post-Thriller. And I told my mom, God bless my mom, I told my mom I wanted to be Michael Jackson for Halloween. Oh. And my 4-year-old brother, I was 6, my 4-year-old brother said he wanted to be Michael Jackson. So I had pictures with me and my brother looking identical in penny loafers with the pennies in them, white socks, black pants that didn't go down far enough so you could see the white socks, just like Michael.
Yep.
We had this red jacket on with this big sash that went across. We had the red tinted, or like the red rimmed shades. Our hair was slicked back and greased back with gel. And then we both had a sequined white glove.
I love
And we went and trick-or-treated as Michael Jackson that whole year. And I'm not going to lie, I would bust out a Michael move or two, and they'd say, "Oh, you look just like Michael Jackson." I'm like, hee hee hee. And then I'd be like, hand him my candy, do a little dance move, a little shimmy, a little leg kick. I did get in trouble when I started the crotch grabbing, but I feels like it's on brand. Like, this is the thing.
It
Anyway.
really is, yeah.
Yeah.
Spencer, I have some not so breaking news about Michael Jackson. I don't know.
No. I'm well aware.
Okay, all right. Just making sure.
He's dead. That's what she was going to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, he's
definitely,
dead.
Yep.
He's dead. Nothing else.
Yep.
He's dead.
Nothing. Yep.
Yep, nothing else. Yep.
Yep.
But in 1985, though, prior to all the other stuff that happens, like, he was the king of pop. He was the biggest thing. Totally. He was all over TV. He was all over the radio. Like, Thriller, still, the airplay that thing got. We heard that in our house because my mom listened to, like, the top 40 radio station all the time. I can still sing all the lyrics to any song off that album. I mean, it just was in our brains, and that's what I wanted to be, and I loved it. Now I look back at it, and it's a little hard to look at those photos. First of all, I was a little white boy dressed up as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
When Michael Jackson still
that.
looked like Michael Jackson back in the day.
Yes.
And then, of course, all the other stuff later in life. Musically, though, he's still a genius.
He is.
But
Absolutely.
yes. But that's my favorite. Like, my mom, that like really made up for the crayon incident.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the crayon was like I'm a tired mom. I don't want to spend money.
Yeah.
We're going to go the safe route. The Michael Jackson was I'm going to be the best freaking mom possible. I'm going to make my son look just like MJ. He's going to be the best looking kid this year. People are going as like these clowns and these, horrible Draculas with the little widow's peak that was drawn on. And I was like, freaking, I got a sequin glove that my mom did the sequins with a hot glue gun herself. Like, please step up.
Wow. That's commitment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So, Halloween is today. I want to hear from all the super friends. I want to hear, what's your favorite candy? What's your worst favorite candy? What is the best outfit you've worn? And what is the trash bag outfit that you have worn? And hit us up at all those socials. You can get us, and we will read those next week, because it'll be right after Halloween, and everyone's still going to be talking about candy and costumes and what they saw and what they wish they hadn't seen. Because there's a lot of that goes on, too.
Yes. Yes.
And I just rather not, think of that. But anyway, what is new coming up on Garbage and Gold? What can we expect here in the next few weeks, in the next coming months? How much is the hilarity going to continue? And is Lisa still going to passionately use her shrillness to try to win people over to her side?
I already do that successfully, so it's not about trying, it's about continuing. Yeah, we will continue to do all sorts of topics, and we have recently launched a Patreon, so you can get our full, we call them director's cut. So our episodes have a runtime of about 30 to 40 minutes, and our director's cut, we don't take anything out, so those are typically a little bit longer, so you get all of our outtakes and all that stuff. We've also been doing this wonderful idea that Lindsey had to do coverage of The Masked Singer.
Such a good
reality
idea.
show. It is
Thank
so
you.
much worse than we thought it was going to be, but is made for
gosh, it's so terrible.
really great content. So that's
Awesome.
been super fun. So yeah, so that's what's coming up with us there. We're doing bonus episodes and stuff over there. Actually, tonight we just recorded a bonus episode for Patreon that is garbage and gold of people you knew in high school. So that's a fun one that we did. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
Do you think you'll keep up with the reality show stuff as a bonus?
I did send Lisa an idea for the next reality show, which I don't think we're ready to announce yet, but it is also terrible, and I feel great about it. And then, Lisa, I haven't told you this, the Masked Singer is coming back for season 3, in March.
What?
I know. What did we do?
Is it with him?
I might need a Nick Cannon hiatus.
I was gonna say I might need a breather for that, but we'll see. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Just give him a little bit of time. He'll say something he shouldn't say, and he'll get bounced off that network, and he'll get replaced by Tyra Banks, and then you can talk about that.
He keeps wearing turbans, and he still has a job, so I don't know.
And no socks.
I know. Yep.
And bedazzled shoes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
And capes. He wears a cape every week.
Yeah.
This sounds awful. Why do you watch it?
It's a lot of good snarky content, I must say.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ken Jeong.
It's real bad.
Ken Jeong. That's why you watch that.
I do appreciate him very much. Yeah.
I appreciate him, but he is better than this, and he should know that.
He should be making better choices with his life.
And can I say, as a male who grew up in the Jenny McCarthy era, because she was from Chicago, and so she was well beloved, she's not much older than me, but
Yep.
she needs to have good friends around her that tell her to stay away from doctors.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the questions that I asked on one of our episodes. We do coverage of the Masked Singer. What questions do you have? And one of my questions was, who keeps saying yes to putting more plastic in Jenny's face? Who is saying yes to this? And they need to stop. We need to be done with this, Jenny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's real
I
bad.
gotcha. Well, where can our super friends find you guys out on the socials, and where can they find Garbage and Gold every week?
Yeah, we are, like Lindsay said earlier, we are at Twitter and Instagram at GarbageGoldPod. We have a website, garbageandgoldpod.com, and you can find more about us there. We are on iTunes, Stitcher, all the things. Anywhere you would get a podcast, you can find us. So, yeah, we're everywhere.
Nice. Definitely, super friends, go out and listen. I know I've said this before. One of my favorite podcasts. Seriously, go download it. Do it now. It's Thursday. Do it now.
So
You'll get the next Tuesday,
ready
and then,
for you, yeah.
and then go back and listen to the other ones. You can get more Thanksgiving content immediately today. Do it. Don't hesitate. I feel like I'm about ready to break into the and now what else do we have for them? All right, well, let's wrap this up. From all of us here at the Fortress of Nerditude to all of you out there, wherever you may be, may the Force be with you always.